My name is Michael Sizemore, and I'm a metal sculptor in Athens, West Virginia, and I like to make stuff every day. In both of our shops, we have tools that you grow to love your tools because they do certain things. And once you get used to that, if you have a little punch that you need to put into a piece of copper, I got the hammer for that. And if I can't find that hammer, I get a little bit lost, right? So that hammer is the hammer that you have to have at that moment. And it's that way in the big shop too. You develop a relationship with machines and with hammers and with heat and the torch, especially the torch when you're making copper. Just the sound of it alone has to be correct for it to push oxygen into the material to make it bubble the way that I like it to bubble. So that's part of the signature, the welding process that we have with copper. And I have a favorite hammer. I got a favorite pry bar. If you want to move a piece of metal in a certain direction, typically, Bubba Man is what I call him. You grab him off shelf and he'll slap it in the right direction, And then you have to be able to take, so you're going from a hammering moment or a brazing moment or a welding moment, and then you got to step over to the lathe and turn something on the lathe, Lathe is a big, giant thing that can hurt you. So now you got to calm down. You got to take a deep breath and become friends with that. Over time, you've developed systems that keep you in check and keep production going. You want to make it out there and you want people to support you in your game and your vision, then you need to be on time. And so and how that works for me is I keep notebooks, even if it's just a scrap piece of paper, scrap piece of cardboard laying around. We have Sharpies laying everywhere in our world, so you can't erase it. Make a note, write it down somewhere, and so what we do is we keep track of how many, like dragonflies per se, the dragonfly wall pieces that we make. We've made 376 of those in 20 years. So that comes into play, not only, wow, we've made this many of these things and these people really enjoy them. Here's a reason why you should keep making them, right? So that's kind of cool. But it also tells you how much copper you need on the wall to make the next 3 months worth of those dragonflies. So it's the skill level and the repetition of, okay, for me to produce A, I need B and C, and then D will fall into place. One of the greatest aspects of making is, certainly making for yourself, because you want to please yourself. That's its own thing, right? But when you're working with other folks out there in the world and, you get their groove intertwined with your groove, it becomes a dance. And at the end of the song, you've made something. And that is a really, really wonderful thing. Sometimes it's challenging, but for the most part in my career, you can make the happiness happen. You can bring the happiness out of people. You just got to talk to them, ask them questions. How do you feel about this? What do you want to express with this thing you want me to make to put in your front yard? How do you give it to me? Feed me what you've been dreaming about. Obviously, you don't just, maybe some people wake up in the morning and they think, yeah, I want something big in my yard. But most people have actually thought about it for a while and they have the flavor in their head and you just got to get it out. I feel that I portray myself as a happy person because it comes out in the work, You want to make something that has your vibe. The word vibe alone is just happiness, do your thing. Express yourself, let them express themselves. If it's a collaboration thing that's going on, whether you're working with another artist or an entity that, wants you to make something for them, put the happiness out there. Be happy. I'm just inherently happy, so I'm just lucky like that. But don't let the world get you down, man. Find the bright side.